Meteorologist Vin Crosby. The storms are moving through the Treasure Valley even as we speak. We've got all kinds of nasty weather going on right across Ada County, coming on in towards Canyon County. The latest radar showing this band of heavy rains now moving right on in through much of the Treasure Valley. And so we're going here for, hopefully this thing will kick on for me. We'll go in here for a closer look and see if we can get Adobe Flash players blocked. That's not good. All right, so we'll go in this way for a closer look and see if we can get into these showers and storms. And then you can see a big thunderstorm coming on through much over Ada and Canyon County right now, right smack dab across the Flying Y going through the Boise Town Square Mall. I did get a lot of comments on folks saying, hey, is this a funnel cloud? Is this a tornado? And that was the big swirly cloud mass that you saw out there earlier today. Was the leading edge of this storm. It was cold air moving out in front. We call it an Arcus cloud. You see Arcus clouds, this is what typically follows that you're experiencing outside right now. A lot of rain in the atmosphere and a lot of wind underneath this too. So if I go in for a closer look here with this is actually an estimation of wind in the rain that's coming on down. We can actually find out where the raindrops are going and how fast they're moving in what direction. And so that's what we're looking at here. And so the wind speeds in this with the downburst and then the rain flow slows things down probably in between 20 and 45 miles per hour right now. There were some echoes earlier when this storm system came on through, hinting towards some higher gust in that 45 to 55 mile per hour range. So we want to look out for that because as this kind of unloads on the surface, all the rain, we could get a wet microburst coming on down across the region as this continues to lift off towards the north and towards the east. So thanks for tuning in here on YouTube and of course on Facebook as we are definitely streaming here. Let me get back towards, this is one of my favorite, the observations map here, and we can add the radar to it. Yeah, so this is a little bit better description. It helps us go in and zoom a little bit more, and you can see exactly where some of the rain is right now. The heaviest stretching from the Boise Spectrum all the way back across Catherine Albertson's Park and Ann Morrison, and then going right on up in towards Camel's Back. That's where the heaviest rain is right now. And onto this area right here, coming just down over by Alpine Street, going on down towards Latah. That's where some of the heaviest storm action is right now, moving down towards the east and northeast direction. If I move back across much of the region, you can see that's where the two heaviest cells are, stretching across the Flying Y and back down towards the southwest, right in through here. Temperatures have dropped down to the 70s. Got a wind gust there around Meridian, 38 miles per hour at I-84 and Meridian Road. And so that wind gust there just popping up. It was there. I saw it. I know it was there. Maybe it pops up here. It went away. It doesn't like me anymore. All my observations went away. Maybe they'll pop up here soon. But we do see these wind gusts in the radar field, like I said, 25 to 45 miles per hour. That was 38 miles per hour around Eagle Road and I-84. Let me get to the radar here and get the latest update. And that's it. That's what we're looking at right here. Good rain right now, and I'm not seeing any major damaging winds. I'm literally broadcasting to you right around Franklin Road, Cole Road area, and not hearing anything outside other than the thunder and the lightning as it moves on up into the higher elevations. Now, a lot of moisture coming down with this. The balloons that went up earlier had a precipitable water content of 1.02 inches. That means the atmosphere is kind of a wet sponge right now. So anytime we get thunderstorms into it, it drains the rain and has it come on down across the region. Let me take a look at some of these Arctic clouds, Arcus clouds that we had a little earlier today. I had somebody even comment saying, hey, is that a tornado? So you can see that swirl of cloud cover right in through there, way out in advance of the rain that's coming through now. This is what's called an Arcus cloud. You can see that swirl right there, that arc. That's the wind kind of pushing out the atmosphere, causing these swirly clouds. But there were some incredible formations earlier across the region that I'm sure you saw. I know many people have been texting, emailing me. Look at this one. This was my favorite. You can see the striations in the clouds right on up there above my head. The swirls coming on through. Absolutely phenomenal with that's coming on through. So hopefully you can hear me. I had my mic into the pocket, so I can't see comments or anything like that right now. So if you are commenting, please be patient with me. But that's look at those swirls there. That's an Arcus cloud. That's not a tornado. It's not a funnel cloud. That's what we call an Arcus cloud. So those great cool formations right up through there. You can see that it looks like a lot of swirliness, but that's just the air kind of swirling and pushing out in front of this storm system that is moving on through right now. Let's go and see if I can get the radar back up here. I really want to get a loop going here, but it's not letting me. I think something's blocking it. I want that to work. Flash was blocked on this page. Manage. I don't want flash blocked on this page. Allow. That's what I want. I want to allow. I apologize for that. My flash isn't working. It's not blocking right now, so I don't know what's going on. But let me go back and see how much rain's coming down. I bet you we're getting about a ½ inch an hour rate in some of these areas right now, because we can also, with the raindrops, count how much is falling and see how much is in the bucket with 1 hour. So yeah, so we're getting some tremendous amount of rainfall rates. I can just see it right there. And if I'm not mistaken, the yellow to oranges right in there, it's about around an inch of rain, but we divide that by 2. So with this type of atmosphere, looks like it's between about 3/4 of an inch to maybe that's the max in there if you divide some of this by 2. But notice how it's coming up over the same area and continuing to climb. And so that is a very good indication that we're going to see training, and that training adds a lot of water continuously with storm after storm over the same area, so we see some minor flooding and flash flooding. And I mentioned this earlier today with some of my shows that I did about these storms coming on through, and that computer model forecast I used was right on the money. I mean, the timing, the cells and location, it was pretty impressive to watch that. But you are seeing that this system is pressing off towards the northeast, and there's your radar there. And then there's more coming back into the south. So we got a pretty good swath of rain back across the Treasure Valley out towards Caldwell, Nampa, and then going on back towards Ontario. But that heaviest band is clearly right there, smack dab in the same spot, stretching right along Interstate 84 and going towards the east. And so if I refresh this right here, let's see if we can get this thing back up and running. Looks like we got a 33-mile-per-hour wind gust at the airport right there. The wind gusts are in the red numbers. The temperature, the air temperature is in the black numbers. And then that wind barb is the wind direction. But there's the latest radar, and you can see it stretches pretty much right here along I-84, back right across Overland. It comes right across the Flying Y, South Cole Road, on top of Bora, going up to Morris Hill. Stretches going on up towards Irene Street, Smith Avenue up there north of Boise, and then it gets up into those higher elevations up there around Becker Ridge Lane. So that's where I think there could be some real good heavy rainfall rates coming on down right now. Flash flooding is a possibility. If I go and take a look at the balloon launch from this afternoon, this evening, this right here will tell me how much moisture is in the atmosphere. If I look up for the precipitable water, it looks like 0.78 inches. So when I talk about how much is in the atmosphere, it's because we do balloon launches in the evening hours. And so this PW right there, 0.78 inches, that's how much could be squeezed from some of these storms in a short amount of time as it presses on through. It also shows us instability and temperatures and all kind of stuff, garbage you really don't need to know right now, but that is a very wet and that's a perfect sounding for thunderstorm activity right through there, meteorologically speaking. So let's go and take a couple of radar stops here. If we go back towards the west, we can see that if we come right along Meridian, we see another pretty heavy cell there. Go back towards Nampa, you can see it's not as heavy back towards Nampa, just some light rain, but some gusty winds. Seeing a 32-mile-per-hour wind gust coming in around the Nampa airport, but it's always windy in Nampa, right? South Nampa especially. Yeah, so all the activity right now is back right across Boise. And then down to the south, going down towards, looks like in between the Mountain Home Air Force Base and Boise. And that's all moving towards the north. Look at that good temperature contrast there. You want to see a gut? Look at this. This is perfect. On one side of the runway of the airport, it's 68 miles per hour, 68 degrees rather, 26 mile per hour winds. Right around the parking lot of the airport, it's 85 degrees right now and 81 degrees. And that's where the leading edge of the rain coming in as a frontal boundary sitting right in through there. That's fascinating right there. A little micro meteorology, real small scale. On one end of the airport, 68 degrees and some rain. On the other end of the airport, 85 degrees. And the rain not quite there yet. But you know that would change in a heartbeat when that gust of wind moves on through. There is a little bit of a bow effect with this. This is that Arcus cloud. See that little bow right in through there? And then it spreads out. An indication that that's where your strongest winds will be. Somewhere in that yellow area going on up into the foothills. You can see it's just east of Garden City and going on up into Hill Road. Let's see if I can get in for a closer look here and see if we can get some perspective for you. So there's West Hill Road. There's Hillside Junior High School right in there where my ex is. And there's West Hill Road. And then you get some darker shades of the oranges there. So if I go into the radar and I kill the opacity just a little bit, you can see the streets I'm talking about. But nonetheless, Sunset Park out through there, it's just a real heavy rainstorm right now coming on through. Ponding of water on the roadways, that's going to be a problem as we press on through these areas going on that in the next, say, half hour or so. We're winding down, almost getting through all this. Let's go back and see if we've got anything coming in to our south. And I break away, and it looks like there's still some more down there, still some more showers and storms. And then look at the heavy stuff back over towards Portland and, boy, the Columbia River Gorge. We're going to stop in there in just a second. But notice this cluster down here to our south. See if this thing wants to loop. Well, that one's going to let us loop. All right. So we're not done with this yet. We're going to get the rain coming on through. And then there's some stronger storms building back in northern Nevada down just over by Winnemucca coming on to the north. That'll continue moving on to the north. And so this will all kind of ramp up, diminish, and so we'll have on and off rain showers going on through the night. But check this out. This is pretty impressive stuff back through here. The Columbia River Gorge area. Looks like it's just out of the range of the Portland radar site. Nope, you can catch them. You can catch those storms. So this is around the Dalles, the Hood River area. You can see coming up by Medias and continuing to move towards the north. That's a pretty good storm system there going up towards Yakima. So real nasty travel across I-84 right now. If we go towards the eastern areas, and this gets us out here underneath the Pendleton radar, and you can see heavy showers and storms coming all the way back from Pendleton, just south of I-84. Going to head north up towards Yakima and Pasco, Walla Walla. And then, of course, we've got our mess that we're dealing with back down here in Ada and Canyon County, down towards the southeast. Looks like that cell is pressed off towards the north. And pretty hefty stuff coming on down across the region. Let's see if we can see if this thing is actually coming up streaming live on Facebook. It looks like we are Ken Quarter. We're in a state of wonky weather. Nice, Ken. Love Ken Quarter. Oh yeah, I am live. Woohoo! Cool. Carl Mitchell says we're having a lightning party up there in Lomond. Blessings for your bride there, Carl. I know you guys going through a tough time. A lot of great video out there. It's very cool. Carol Guthman. Dad taught me to love God's beauty in storms. Oh yeah, I'm with you there. Karen King. Got some surges in the bench area. Karen King. Lata Cassia. So yeah, let's see if I don't know if Power's reporting any power outages right now across the region. I'm a little delayed here, so I'm seeing literally. Yeah, we got some views out there. Great, thanks for sticking with me. Yeah, comment on if you're seeing any stuff out there. Oh, great video. That was from the Seiferts. Yeah, that's a great video, Seiferts. Look at that, they posted that. That's a good one. There's some good more stuff. Yeah. Look at that. That was great stuff there. I'm going to stop it. So lightning is like, oh yeah, there's a good stream. So positive and negative electrons kind of getting together. That's what causes lightning. And they make all this invisible paths before you see the lightning. And I want to get this just right. It's not letting me. Oh, there's one. So you can see these little paths up there. I just can't pause it at the right spot. That's where the energy is released, if you will. Once they make contact, it's like party on, and that's the light flash you see in the sky. Thanks for sharing that. The Seiferts. If you've got any pictures, any comments, please share, and of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to my weather show on YouTube. It'll be much appreciated. Let me show you some information here before I get on a tangent on Facebook. So back up in the high hills, we got some gusts there. What do we got going on? I don't see any major damaging gusts, but there's a couple of good ones, 32, 34. I don't know what the highest wind gust was here at the airport. Let me see in Boise. See if we got a peak wind gust at Boise Airport. 40 miles per hour. So we did get a 40 mile per hour gust initially when the Arcus cloud came on through. Not getting a ton of rain, but I don't think it fell. The storm, the brunt of it didn't go right on the Boise Airport rain gauge. Now we're seeing this press off to the north, and there's a nice little red cell. Looks like going up just around 55 north end areas of around Eagle. So let's go in for a closer look on this area. Add my radar back, get rid of this. And yeah, there it is, right up and through here. Looks like Hidden Springs is now the big winner with the heaviest rain showers going. So that's some steep terrain up through there, coming off Dry Creek Road, just east of 55. But the heaviest looks like to be sitting right up over around North Pierce Park Lane. North Pierce Park Lane going on up over towards West Hill Road. What's another road I'm seeing here? North Crescent Way. There's Pierce Park Greens getting soaked right now. Summer Hill Drive. All kinds of wet stuff going on up there in North Boise. But that's getting up into the foothills, and so you know there's going to be some massive runoff of water up through here as they go up towards that's Cartwright Road and going up towards Dry Creek Road. And right there, it looks like the east side of Hidden Springs getting just a deluge right now, right into High Meadows Drive of Hidden Springs. Let's go and check and see if we have any power outages across the region. Idaho Power outage. And they've got a great report, a map here. You can see live stuff, which I really, really enjoy. And oh, look at that. Surprise, there's a bunch. So up in McCall, we got about 1,000 people without power right now. So it started around 8:28, about over 1,400 people without power up around the McCall area. And this one is just recent. This is right around, let's go in for a little closer look. Let's use the tools, Crosby. Come on, use the tools. Zoom in, New Meadows. That's where I'm seeing some people without power. Still scrolling, coming down, High Valley. Here we go. Eagle. Yep, right where that storm is, we got about 1,000 people without power affected there. Looks like they're looking to get it up and running here around 10:30. About 1,100 customers without power around Eagle. And then my friend over there, Karen King, talking about this earlier. They got about 371 customers without power. Of course, if you watched my show earlier, we said, hey, tree limbs, power outages, all a possibility with this. So we want to give you the best information quickly. And then you can see, got about 23 people without power. This looks around Middleton, just north of Caldwell. So, oh, Ontario's got some out too. It looks like between 20 and 100 people. Let's see what we got up here. Looks like 60 customers without power back up towards Ontario, Oregon. So, yeah, a lot of wind damage, wind, power outages, crews on site. I've got a crew dispatched to the one over there in Boise where 371 customers are affected without power right now. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Comment. Hey, there's Amanda Jones, stepdaughter, new baby. Not liking it, I bet. Hopefully the dogs are doing well, Amanda. Got a lot of great stuff here, comments. Wild stuff going on across the Treasure Valley. All right. I'm all talked out. Where's the latest and greatest? Let's go do some more. More radars, more weather. So it looks like the strongest stuff is pressed off towards the north is what I'm seeing now. Had that initial gust of about 40 miles per hour come on through. You get the rain embedded in some of these areas of the winds and the storms. It lowers the wind speeds a bit. It's not that pure dry atmosphere where the gust of wind really can take off. And so even though the Doppler radar estimated wind gusts around 50 miles per hour, it diminished it a little bit, but we still had 40 mile per hour winds. And I bet with the amount of rain coming down and the wind, there will be some tree limbs down. That's probably why those power outages happened in the area across the region. Amazing. Rain showers back up to the north, back across much of Eagle Road, going on over towards the west and coming into the south of Kuna. Looks like another round. So not done with it yet. You can see more down here in between Mountain Home and Boise. That's going to come up over ID4. And then this bugger coming up here over the Snake River, south Ada County, moving to the north. That's going to come up over Kuna. So more vivid lightning, more chances of some gusty winds with that storm. And then there's still more down here, south of the border of Idaho into northern Nevada. So not done yet across the region with these storms. They should start slowly winding down here, though, over the next couple of hours, and then diminish kind of rapidly now that the sun is starting to go down. And we'll just get some pulse rain showers coming on up across the region. Wow, fun stuff. From a meteorological standpoint, of course. Oh boy, let's go in for some more views here. Let's change this up and see how much precipitation has come down across the area. How much rain has fallen on your grassy areas. And there's the 1 hour accumulation. Let's do a 3 hour accumulation. See how much has fallen in the past 3 hours across the region. And then I'm going to throw on a legend that helps us. So it looks like when we get up into the yellows and the yellows going on in towards the oranges, it goes from 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and then the reds about 1.5 inches to 2. So keep that in mind as we pan down across the region. And let's go into my layers again and get the most updated precipitation. So it says 3 hour accumulation, but I'm not buying it because that doesn't look like the 3 hour accumulation across the area. I think it's more than that, my friends. Let's do 1 hour. Yeah, because the 1 hour is showing more than the 3 hour and the 6 hour. So let me go back to this, because this is the better representation, I think, of the actual precipitation. And we measure the amount, and we'll do a storm total. Now we're talking. Well, maybe it was a little bit on the accurate side. So my green is about, well, maybe 3/100ths of an inch. But yeah, those reds and oranges in there, that's some serious rainfall coming on across the region. So if I come in for a closer look, that's as close as I can go for you. And there's Boise. You do see a little bit of maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain to about 3/10 of an inch of rain coming on through. I'll buy that in an hour's time. But this is saying storm total, so this, it moved in, moved out pretty quickly. We didn't get it stuck in one spot, so I'll buy that. Maybe the rate came down at a pretty good amount, but most of the stuff is tapered off. And then you can see some reds up here. That's probably 1.5 to 2 inches in the high country. Divide that by 2, you get about maybe a 1/2 inch to about 6/10 of an inch, and that's what we look for and some of these estimates of the rain. Good stuff. Look at this stuff back here towards the west. Now keep in mind the radar site goes up on an angle. It starts south of the Boise area and goes up at an angle, so it picks up some of these real extreme radar returns up around Baker City. You're way up there in the atmosphere. A lot of this doesn't reach the ground, but you can see a lot of rain still embedded in some of those storms. Very moist atmosphere. In most areas, seeing some light rain. Pretty impressive stuff. Let's go back to the actual radar now. And most of the activity has moved out of the Flying Y. It's on up here along 55 and going back towards Caldwell, Nampa, and Ontario. So let's switch gears here, go back to the radar, get the recent one. And yeah, this gives us a little bit better depiction of where the rain showers are now, and that's pretty good right there. 33-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Looks like 20 knots sustained, and then this cell moving towards the north, and then the heavier rain showers with flashes of lightning possible around the Idaho Center, around 10 Mile Creek going on up around, right around the Centennial Golf Course area, going on up around College of Western Idaho, Franklin Street, Southgate Road, Stam Road, Garrity Boulevard, and then coming on up across the region. Caldwell back on over towards Payette and getting back up here towards New Plymouth. We're seeing wind gusts around 35 miles per hour now. Fruitland area just getting some light rain as it comes on through. So I think things are going to start winding down now. The big concerns will be the rains up in the mountains causing some flash flooding, and then the stuff we're seeing down here to the south. Look at this mass. That's pretty impressive right there. So we got a computer model forecast that I love to use. Let me see if I can call it up here. Oh, there it is, the high resolution. And then I'm going to go into the northwest. I'm going to reset this, get the current time frame. Let's see what we got here for you. It looks like it updated. So this is a pretty cool model. It's what I used earlier today, and it really did a great job with the clusters of storms. So I'm going to stop it right here and see how it's doing now. That's way early, so we're going to go back to where, so here's the cluster coming through right now. And it's kind of right on the money with that. Notice that it's picking up the storms down to the south. I'm going to go in for a closer look here so you guys can get a fairly decent idea of what I'm talking about. So this is the model forecast of the precipitation that just came through, and look at that. It was right on target. And then all this stuff that we're seeing to our south is there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back away and advance that to show you what are our chances of getting into the garbage to the south. So there you go. See where you are. Get your bearings. That dot there's Boise. Here's the stuff to the south. And now I put this an hour. It's 10 o'clock. And see how it's kind of, we're at 9:30, so it's picking up the stuff going to the north. And then it kind of fans this stuff up to the north into the Owyhee County area. And that looks like it's going to break east, go towards Twin Falls. And then that last little, so we're not done with it yet. This is going to go into around midnight and then coming on in, but nothing as strong as what we're having out right now. So this is around 1 in the morning, and that goes up into the foothills, and that should do it. Although look at this stuff down by Jordan Valley. There's going to be some storms coming around in the morning around eastern Oregon, Jordan Valley. Looks like a wet commute to church out there. Right along the border of Idaho going on down towards Ontario. Look at that, just going around tomorrow morning. I guess tomorrow's not church. Saturday. I keep thinking today's Saturday. And I guess there are denominations that do meet on Saturday. But it looks like, yeah, wet weather up around Baker City in the morning. Thunderstorms going up towards Pendleton and going just west of McCall. So, yeah, pretty wet system coming our way. And then things start to develop again. And then tomorrow, guess what? We're going to do this all over again tomorrow with the storm system. Yeah, coming on through. Where's my pretty cool graphic from earlier I made? I got actually my weather show. There's those clouds again. Let me find my weather show from earlier. And I think I've got my graphics in there. I do. This is cool. So, yeah, this did a good job here. This is from earlier today, the forecast I put up. And I think that was right on target. It looked really good. 35-50, we hit 40. And you can see around 9 p.m. it's kind of where the storms are, moving out of the north. So this model did a pretty good job. But look at the forecast down here. Behind my head is, let me see if I can move it around for you. Because you want to see the numbers. So 80 degrees tomorrow, 80 degrees Sunday. Looks nice on Sunday. But then the heat comes back in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then next week, another chance of showers. But I think tomorrow, some very strong storms are going to be in the mix. And the model's kind of hinting towards that, going in towards in the afternoon hours here. But let's see what my forecast model here is doing. Yeah, literally seeing how I make my weather forecast. Plymouth State College, the best college to ever be for forecasts. That's why I got my degree way back in the day. I hope my mic's still working. Batteries could be going out. Check 1 2 1 2. I hope you can hear me. Hello, check 1 2 1 2. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. So, where am I? 24, let's do 30. So this is 30 hours. So this is tomorrow afternoon. And you can see it gets pretty active again. Most of it going to our north. And then in the evening hours, 36 hours. Yeah, so a lot of it's going to be in western areas of Idaho, up in the McCall area, and all of Oregon. That's the runner tomorrow for some pretty strong stuff, it looks like, going on into the afternoon and the evening hours. So eastern areas of the Treasure Valley and areas back down to the south and east look to be spared tomorrow, but keep your guard up. Pretty potent little storm system is around. Hey, I've talked forever on this. The 13 comments. Trish Pennington, more storms on the way. Hi, Trish. It's in the Garden Valley, buddy. Let's see. Garden Valley. You should be getting some rain showers in there right now. Garden Valley getting some rain and some thunder just up there. You can see that slipping on through around the South Fork of the Payette River. And then to answer your question, this stuff down here is kind of going to branch off toward the east, fall apart. But yes, overnight tonight we could get a few more. And then during the day tomorrow. All right, friends, if you want to see more details, go and check out the YouTube channel. So appreciate you. Please share your friends and family. Subscribe to the show. Helps this poor weatherman survive. To get sponsors, you can always donate to the show. Things at the top. But that was a good one. That was a good little storm system. I love the clouds. These clouds here. Let me go back to my photo page. That was probably the highlight, I think, for me. Seeing some of these clouds and swirls that I was taking the video. Look at that. This is what everybody was texting me. They saw this amazing cloud formation. I'm looking straight up above my head into the clouds. So you see these swirls here, and so that's just what we call an Arcus cloud. That's nothing real serious, tornadic-like. However, that is an indication that, and look how distinct it was, that right there. That's an indication that the storm has released a lot of wind and cold air in advance of it, and that it pressed towards the north. So, yeah, pretty phenomenal stuff. Good cloud formations there. Love it. Love weather. So this was from earlier today, the satellite picture. And so there's the cloud band from earlier that brought the stuff today. This stuff here coming in tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, let's go see what the old clouds are doing right now with my GOES 17 satellite. Look at this, the clusters of clouds. This is going to be fun. This is super fun. This is like the high resolution map, if you will. And so I'm going to play it because it'll show the clouds going from day to night. And then if I go to the last 12 images, you can really see the storms, how they came across the area. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Clusters of showers and storms just dotted up right along like the Magic Valley, going right across our area back in towards Baker City. Oh, look at it. You see the flow coming out of the south, just fanning all those clouds to the north as they bubble up and go into the atmosphere and then they get sheared off on top. That is just the most phenomenal stuff. That's great stuff right there. Great stuff. So it's time to do a little mouse draw. So the upper level winds coming up like this, and they're fanning. They're literally fanning the winds in the higher elevations of the atmosphere. And you can see that effect with these clouds. And just like a chimney that gets, all right, play, that gets like, a little bit of wind at the top, or you fan a fire, it increases the flow from down below and makes the storm stronger. That's what's happening here. We call it diffluence in the atmosphere. It's just a beautiful thing. You can see there's some turnage in there. If you look closely in this one, especially from earlier, notice how this kind of backs away and turns and swirls, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of cloud development in the Arcus clouds earlier today. It's time for some food, don't you think? Yes, Finn, we think. Thanks for watching, sports fans. I am all talked out. Can you believe it? It happens. No, it really does. Thanks for watching. Again, subscribe to the channel. If you want to be a sponsor, if you're like a business and you want to be a sponsor, let me know. I have great rates. You can email me at theweathershow1@gmail.com. Weathershow1@gmail.com. You can always message me too on YouTube. Comment there. I don't know how many YouTubers we got going on, or whether I can even see my channel live streaming. Let's check it out. Let's see if we can see if it's live streaming. It is! Awesome! I love streaming. This is good stuff right here. And there's the forecast from earlier with 50 views. Very good. I got one watching. More watching on Facebook, one watching on YouTube. Appreciate you, wherever you are. Look at that, up to 1169 subscribers. We need more. I'd like to build this thing up to 5,000. Help me, folks. Help me, Rhonda. And with that, I won't sing. No, really, this time.